It's March 7, 2017. Pre-dawn in Midtown Manhattan. Joshua Schulte, ex-CIA coder, blinks awake as his phone screen glows with a single world-shaking alert. WikiLeaks, Vault 7. The CIA's entire hacking arsenal goes public. A continent away, in a bland Virginia office park, the CIA's worst nightmare has materialized overnight. American espionage's crown jewels, code, exploits, tradecraft, are now out in the wild. The world is about to see just how badly the world's most secretive power can bleed. West of Washington, D.C., among the sprawl of strip malls and highways, the CIA's Operations Support Branch, or OSB, blends into the landscape. Only the watchful guards and fences hint at the secrets inside. OSB is the agency's hacker lair. A locked ninth-floor office, its digital vaults filled with quick-reaction cyber weapons. Their specialty? Physical access operations. Hacks installed not by remote wizardry, but by spies or assets, slipping malware directly onto targets' devices. The stakes are life and death. Yet inside, the OSB could pass for a Silicon Valley startup. Pranks, Nerf gun battles, relentless banter. Nicknames abound. Train tracks, Dick Move. The place is often rowdy, and no one is rowdier than Joshua Schulte. Schulte, a skinny Texan with a shaved head, christens himself Badass. Others call him Voldemort. He's brilliant, quick with code, but quicker with offense. He blogs about Ayn Rand, rational selfishness, and privacy, ironically for a man building surveillance tools for the government. But at his core, he's a patriot, craving the thrill and purpose of secret work. The OSB names its weapons with adolescent glee: Wild Turkey, Anger Quake, Brutal Kangaroo, McNugget. These playful monikers mask the gravity of their purpose, turning phones, apps, even TVs into weapons of American power. But beneath the camaraderie, cracks form. Schulte's volatility and strong opinions breed friction. Fights over code, Nerf battles, and sharp words escalate into deep feuds. His rivalry with Amal, a new recruit, becomes legendary. What starts as childish pranks devolves into mutual insults, desk trashing, and ultimately a restraining order, an unheard-of embarrassment in the CIA's world. Mediation fails. Schulte, feeling targeted and betrayed, complains up the chain. When rebuffed, he files grievances, threatens exposure, and even goes to court, all while still working on the agency's most sensitive exploits. Amid the drama, the guardrails slip. Lax habits take root. Passwords on Post-its, weak codes, developer network access granted far too widely. Schulte himself is system admin, holding the digital keys to the kingdom. When his privileges are revoked, he hacks himself back in, convinced he's owed his rightful place. March 7, 2017. Vault 7 detonates online. 34 terabytes, over 2 billion pages of secrets spill out. Source code, hacking methods, and every signature trick OSB has ever crafted, all exposed. Inside Langley, stomachs drop. "I was sick to my stomach," recalls Karen, the OSB's supervisor. The CIA's digital arsenal is burned. Allies and assets are at risk worldwide. The initial suspicion falls on foreign powers, Russia, Iran, maybe China. But soon the evidence points inward. Someone with the right access, the right knowledge, the right grudge. Someone like Joshua Schulte. By then, Schulte was making big money at Bloomberg in Manhattan. FBI agents intercept him after work and invite him to a nearby restaurant, Pershing Square, across from Grand Central. He's friendly, even charming, but his hands shake under the table. A search of his apartment exposes a pile of damning clues. Google searches about WikiLeaks, Tails OS downloads, a favorite tool of leakers. Passwords carelessly stored on his phone unlock encrypted vaults. What the FBI doesn't find is a smoking gun, no direct proof of sending files to WikiLeaks. But the circumstantial evidence is mountainous. Technical logs link his King Josh 3000 backdoor to the backup that matches what WikiLeaks published. Investigators also find shocking evidence of child pornography and an incriminating photo tied to a possible assault. Schulte claims others used his server and denies the allegations, but federal prosecutors press forward on every front. Friends and old classmates recall Schulte as brilliant, arrogant, sometimes cruel, a provocateur driven not by ideology, but by antagonism and pride. In 2020, Joshua Schulte stands trial in Manhattan. The CIA is forced to air its dirtiest laundry in public. Witnesses testify under code names. Jurors are bewildered by technical jargon. The press reports on Nerf wars, childish spats, and the agency's laughable security lapses. Prosecutors say Schulte is a vengeful insider who destroyed out of spite. The defense admits his character flaws, but insists being difficult isn't a crime. The jury convicts Schulte on lesser charges, contempt, and lying to the FBI, but hangs on the most serious counts. It's a mistrial. Meanwhile, Schulte returns to solitary, blogs under aliases, rails against his captors, and prepares to represent himself at retrial. But the story doesn't end there. In July 2022, after a retrial, Schulte is convicted of the most serious espionage charges for orchestrating the largest leak of classified material in CIA history. He is also convicted in a separate trial in 2023 on child pornography charges. On February 1, 2024, Schulte is sentenced to 40 years in federal prison for espionage, computer hacking, contempt of court, making false statements to the FBI, and possession of child sexual abuse images. The judge and prosecutors describe his actions as some of the most brazen, heinous crimes of espionage in American history, noting the catastrophic damage to the CIA's operations and national security. The CIA, for its part, is left exposed and embarrassed. We prioritized building cyber weapons at the expense of securing our own systems. Their own assessment concludes. The agency's trust is shattered. Assets may have been burned. Its digital arsenal, once secret, is now a global blueprint for hackers and adversaries. Vault 7 reveals harsh truths about both technology and human nature, genius and ego, ambition and betrayal, inside the world's most secretive power. It took just one boy emperor to bring down the digital palace. And somewhere right now, another coder stares at a glowing screen, convinced he's smarter than the system, ready to test the Vault's defenses all over again. This is the story of Vault 7. For more untold stories from the digital shadows, subscribe now, because in the world of cyber secrets, history is always one keystroke away from rewrite.